Bonjour. Alright, so, while I pick up the cards from my last reading, I kind of wanted to just do a little rant about, there's like a lot of strength in just feeling what you feel, you know? Um, like, without any regard to outcomes, without any regard to anything else, I feel like there's just a lot of power that comes with allowing yourself that kind of vulnerability. We have all these feelings. Um, and sometimes we do just need to sit with our sadness, and sometimes we do just need to. My hair's all crazy, sorry. Sometimes we do just need to sit in our anger or whatever, just momentarily, just let yourself feel it, and get on with life and just accept that these feelings, they are a part of you, they are a part of your nature, they're part of what you're supposed to experience. You're meant to to go through these tower moments, if you will, so that you can experience better and appreciate better. It's like humans, we have this weird way of existing where we either completely wallow in our feelings and try to never get out of it, or we try to repress our feelings and never feel it. We try all different methods. And honestly, for me, in my own personal journey, just giving myself a solid 12 hours of just feeling my feelings, whatever I'm feeling, just allowing myself to feel it without, any action involved, without allowing my emotions to move me to, any reaction. No responses are needed. No, like, extra shit is needed. It's just, like, being able to release all of that and just accept, like, this is how I feel about a certain situation, or this is just how I feel in general. Unrequited love. Let's talk about that. That's something that I feel like we kind of skip over. Everyone's just like, let go, move on, da da da. And it's like the universe called you to these feelings so that you could face something, so that you could accept something, so that you could learn something. You don't just get these things for no fucking reason. It doesn't, there's not like an unfairness in it. Sometimes we have to feel it. We have to be kind of like consumed by it a little bit, so that a real truth about us can be revealed on the inside, so that we can actually understand ourselves on a real level. Like, if somebody hurts your feelings, it's okay to be like, you know what? Somebody hurt my feelings, and I'm just gonna feel that for a second, or like, it's mature. It's mature because I feel like it takes a real level of immaturity to disregard it, or to let your ego tell you that you're better than these feelings, or that you're not deserving of these feelings, or whatever your ego tells you. Because you're like, your protective instincts are gonna be like, no, run away from this. This is uncomfortable. You don't like this. And it's like, and that's very animal of you. It's it's something that you were evolved into. It makes sense that you would feel that way. That you'd be like, all right, I just kind of want to escape whatever I'm feeling. But it's like, the divine gives us feelings so we can feel them. That is our superpower. Superpower. I've smoked a little. Okay, it's our superpower, dude. It's like being able to just be like, you know what, it is what it fucking is, and it's like, you don't have to have an ulterior motive. You don't have to have any extra shit. It's like, you were called to this feeling, so feel it. It's part of existing. It's part of experiencing. It's part of transcending too. Transcending old cycles of holding on to trauma. Like, let the feelings pass through you. Let it flow. Don't like block it all up and hold on to it for 20 fucking years. Like, don't allow yourself to be debilitated by your feelings, just push that shit, push it, make it go forward. If you need to cry it out, cry it out. If you need, to just be angry and go dig up half of your backyard and turn it into a garden, go do that. There's so much maturity in that, and people don't realize that. People are just like, oh, look at that person feeling their feelings, pathetic. It's like, but at the same time, it's like, who's really pathetic? The one who has the strength and the courage to face it, or the one who is too ashamed and runs and hides from it? I feel like the courage and the strength to know your truth, to live your truth always, like, you're not always going to be happy. You're not always going to feel love towards everybody. You're not always, and that's part of accepting, accepting that you have a duality within you. You have an ability to be and do more. We're meant to feel the duality. We're meant to go through the lessons to feel the balance. To experience the things that kill our egos, and honestly, like, I just, even though I know the consequences of, like, certain things, like, say, if I know, like, if I bump into a certain person, like, my feelings might get hurt, because that's just been the nature of our relationship or friendship or whatever ship, then, I'm just gonna go in with that expectation every single time, and then they'll never fail to deliver, because I have a negative expectation, right? And it's like, why don't we just start trying to expect the best? Just like, yeah, somebody hurt your feelings, yeah, you had to feel it, yeah, it sucks. Do we need to hold a grudge? Are we so unforgiving? Are we without fault ourselves? Like, he who is without fault casts the first fucking stone, right? Because we spend so much time judging each other on, like, little fucking, like, experiences that we've had with people, and you can't do that to people. People are just as faulty as you are. You are not fucking perfect, and so just allow that to be the foundation on which you release all grudges. Allow yourself to be around people who sometimes stir you up on the inside, because you're meant to be stirred up like that. You're meant to feel things, like, I'm gonna be real with you, okay? So, like, one day I did a meditation to release all my karmic cycles and all that. And I was just like, I was begging the universe. I was like, please, I need to let go of people who suck. And the universe is like, I got you, boo. You know how the universe do. And so it was like, okay. And then, like, in literally, like, 24 hours, I lost 3 friends who just, for no fucking, well, I mean, not no reason. There were stupid reasons, And it just, like, these friendships just fell off. Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, totally cool. That's fine. I prayed for it. The universe delivered, right? And then there was the one fucking person that I actually gave a fuck about, right? And this is where I learned something about myself, right? That one person that I actually gave a fuck about ended up bailing on our plans, right? After, like, 3 people fucking dropped me, and they're like, I don't know if this friendship can continue. You're weird as fuck, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. 3 people did not care. I was kind of laughing about it, because I was just like, whatever. I'm an Aquarius. I don't give a fuck. People, let them go, And then the one motherfucker who actually mattered, who I was looking forward to spending time with them. I was just like, oh my god, like, I get to have a little heart attack for like 30 minutes while we hang out. I don't know, I was very excited about it. And then they, like, completely blow it off. Like, I was like nothing, and my ego took a real fucking hit. That one. I was like, the other ones, it was nothing, it was okay. And that one, I was just like, why? I'm like laying on the couch. I'm like, God, why? Why'd you have to hurt my feelings? And it's like, you asked me to do this to these other people. You know, you were important to these people, and you wanted to be released from them because, you know, of how they made you feel, but you were sent to heal them, you're sent to help them, you know, and like all this realization was popping up, you know, I'm talking to my higher self and shit. And I'm just like, oh my god. And so I went and I made things right with those three people. And I like, and you know, and then the person, well, they don't blow me off as much because we don't really make plans. So, you know, win-win chicken din din, you know. But freaking, I don't know. It was weird. I felt like a sense of rejection, you know, and in me, being me, I was like, what? Nobody could. Why would anybody want to reject me? I'm perfect. You know, no, I'm kidding. I'm not. But like, you know, like my ego is telling me, you know, like why, you know, and then, but then my higher self is also telling me like, well, look at what you just did. You just ended 3 karmic cycles. Of course, you asked for your karmic cycles to end, and sometimes that involves people, like other people from past lives that you didn't have bad karma with, you know, like, or whatever. Or maybe you did, I don't know. But, you know, that karmic cycle, because I mean, I guess like, you know, like even twin flames are technically karmic as well because you've spent lifetime after lifetime after lifetime with them. So if it's somebody of that importance to you, where even that you're like, what? Not that one. Take the rest. Like, what are you doing? You know? Oh man. But you know, I've like in this last year, I've had to let myself feel things, right? And I don't do that well, okay? And that's why I'm here talking to you guys about how fucking mature you must be to do this. Like, how much strength it takes to actually do this. I'm an Aquarius. I hide my feelings. I, like, literally, the image for an Aquarius is somebody holding a bottle of water and, like, or, like, a vase of water, you know, and, a vase, whatever. Freaking, and I'm, you know, like looking at it from the tarot perspective of water being like emotions, and you know, they're literally like bottling up emotions. Like they're like, I'll pour this out when I want to. Damn it. Like, you know, and it's like, I don't know. I guess in this last year, I finally learned a crazy thing about feeling it without expressing it. And without, you know, I don't need to go have drama. I don't need to go bring it up every damn time I fight with somebody. You know, like, that was another harsh lesson I learned. And I have to tell you about this. So, yeah, dude, like, one time I was so mad because I was with somebody in the past who well, they broke my heart. You know, they did some stuff, and I saw some stuff, I found some stuff, you know, and I started acting very emotional about it, and I was like, oh my god, like, you know, it's stupid. And I was talking to somebody, and they were like, so what? So what? Like, you know, and just those 2 fucking words, so what? It like changed everything for me. It was the biggest lesson. I was like, what do you mean? My feelings are valid. They matter. Da, da, da. I can't believe it. And it's like, but then later, you know, after like my introspection and really meditating on so what, you know, like, I just kind of like, I came to this like realize this actualization that like what people do to me is a reflection of their character. You know, my reaction to it is a reflection of mine. You know, and I have not always reacted well, right? And that let me know like maybe my character wasn't all that I thought it was. You know, and my self-righteousness, I was like, what? What? Nobody would ever disagree with me, you know, like, this is crazy. Oh, but I needed that. I needed somebody to be like, so what? You know, I needed somebody to really call me out on my bullshit there, because like, yeah, I was reacting like a fucking animal about it. All in my ego, just like, somebody hurt my pride. And it's like releasing that and forgiving and accepting the situation for what it was, and just understanding that some people just weren't where I was, and I wasn't where some other people were. And like, and it's all just this constant like trying to develop and grow. It was like I needed that call out to be like, all right, it's okay to just know that some shit happens to you. And maybe like nobody's really the bad person here. And I know that's a hard concept, and a lot of people are probably like, you what? No, this person fucked me over. No, I want you to just hear me out for a second. That maybe they're hurting themselves. Maybe this projection onto you is what they're feeling towards themselves. If they lack loyalty towards you, they lack loyalty towards themselves. If they lack respect towards you, they lack respect towards themselves. And it's just like, it's this thing where like, and I just realized, like, I remember sitting there losing my whole damn mind one day and I was just like, I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. And I told myself that like 50,000 fucking times because I wanted to rage. Okay? I wanted to, and what's funny is, even when I didn't do anything wrong at the end, it was made out like I did. And I was like, and then my ego was like, that's fucking bullshit. But I was like, you know what? Whatever. Whatever. Say whatever bullshit they need to say, because that's just a reflection on their character, not mine. My reaction is. And why should I care so goddamn much about what other people think? Like, I don't give a fuck who they are to me. You could be my own goddamn grandma. Sorry, girl. But true, like, even my own grandma knows that, like, I just, that's who I am, I feel like, even her opinion can't be more valid than mine of myself. Her opinion of me, anybody's opinion of me, and I don't know why I would get sucked into cycles of giving a fuck, because now that I don't, now people can, be behind my back saying whatever the fuck they want. I don't need to know. Their opinions about me ain't my business. Like, they're talking to other people. They ain't telling me, right? They ain't telling me all this bullshit. I don't feel lied to, because they ain't lying to me. They're lying to you. Duh. So, and I have to, get to this, like, point in my life as well where I just no longer identify with my ego so much that it matters that much, because I made things matter so much that just really shouldn't, and then when the things that really mattered showed up, then it was like I was able to see everything in a perspective, and honestly, I couldn't have gotten as far as I have in my own personal journey if I didn't have these little ego deaths, these tower moments, these things that really fucking tore down the foundation of all that I thought I was, like when dude, my entire identity was wrapped up in being an atheist, okay? I was so mad at God. I was so mad at the whole thing. And then, thank you, particle physics, and thank you, Neil deGrasse, and thank you, fucking Carl Sagan, for showing me God on a scientific level where I no longer could neglect, what I knew to be true. I knew it, it was just, my insides were like, fuck that. I don't want it to be real. I don't want to know that God would put me through this. I don't want to know, like, that I don't have a choice or that life is a certain way, whatever, and it took a lot of ego dying for me to accept, what I now know, because then the deeper I dove into esoterics, the more truths I found out about the universe, and I was like, fuck. So sometimes we have to have those moments that completely strip us of our identity, so that, or what we know is our identity, so that we can find the fucking God within, because when you sit with the God within, you come out with higher knowledge, with higher understanding, with higher purpose. You have the strength to feel what you gotta feel, and when you feel what you gotta feel, then it helps you to push on and move forward. You're like, okay, I felt that. That was yesterday. Today's a new day. I'm gonna start, listening to Sam Cooke again and just fucking, vibe. Because a change is gonna come, and it's like the change has to be within. The love has to come from within. The respect, all that. I have to supply myself with the things that I once required from everybody else around me. Or I thought I required. I thought I needed it. Um, and now it's like if I ain't even giving that to myself, how do I expect other people to be giving it to me? Because I wasn't. I wasn't respecting myself if I was allowing myself to be in these cycles to begin with. Obviously, I wasn't loving myself if I needed to be validated by the energies around me. Obviously, like, I mean, I could go on this whole fucking list all day long, guys. You guys are my confessional booth, right? I'm telling you who I am. And I just, because so many people just come to me like, and they feel like I am just a know-it-all or something when I talk, and it's like, dude, I've experienced it all. It's different. I'm like coming to you from like a place of experience. I've been at the lowest low, I've, believe me, the lowest low. Like I've hurt myself, I've put myself in shitty situations. I am not a perfect fucking person, and that's why I talk to you guys. That's why I'm here for you guys, because I'm like, they need to know, like, you don't need to be stuck, right? You don't need to feel trapped in your own skin, because there comes a point where you identify so heavily with yourself and you love yourself so much that you find liberation in your solitude. You find that feeling of being at peace when you're in the silence, like the other day my son, it was quiet in the car. I forget to turn on music sometimes, and my son's just like, well, this is an awkward silence. And I was like, but it wasn't awkward, for me. I'm like, why was it awkward? I'm like, it's just silence. I'm like, I tend to appreciate that time with myself in the silence, but it took so much noise pollution to get me here. It took so much of being where my son is, and that feeling of like, oh, it's quiet. And now nobody's talking. And it's like, dude, sometimes it's kind of nice to just not be talking, to just listen to the fucking sounding of the tires whirring while you're driving, the fucking dogs barking in the distance, the lawnmowers going, like, just listening to people exist around you, listening to things exist around you. There's like magic in that. We didn't always have all this distraction, in the human race. Like, we didn't always have fucking screens or like headphones and shit to protect us from any ounce of silence in our lives, like, and it's those moments when you sit in silence that you really sit with God, because you're with yourself. And we're like 99.99999 onward percent energy, and like a fraction of 1% matter, right? Third dimensional matter. That's all that we see, but that's barely any of what we actually are, and it's like, Um, Fuck, I'm stoned. I forgot where I was going with that. But like, we identify with this, we identify with this. And we're just barely even here, And it's like when you sit with spirit, your own spirit, your own self, um, you find it, that higher knowledge. It's like you stepped out of a supernova. You came with the Big Bang. Like you are a god gifted with all this divine knowledge because you've been here, done that, like lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And this is all scientifically proven because of electron repulsion. We have all that, like the energy, the electrons between every atom, like that's just a little atomic distance of space, right? Empty space. That's what scientists call it, empty space. But there's no such thing as empty space, just energy, and that's the glue that holds us together. And that's also the thing that helps me to not melt into this when I touch it. It's beautiful, right? And so because of that, we know that there's a God holding us together. And then, energy and matter is neither created nor destroyed. It just recycles, right? And so, like, there's scientific evidence for reincarnation. We are energy that just fucking puts on a new fucking outfit, We've probably had discussions that started at the dawn of time, and our souls carry them on, when we re-meet in encounters, with people from our past lives and stuff. It's a whole fucking thing. uh and I wouldn't even be here feeling how I feel if it weren't for science bringing me to God. So thank you, science. But yeah, anyway, this is my rant. I love you. No